I don't think that we can ever have peace with my family unless the truth is out there. There's a lot that I can forgive, but there needs to be conversations and then in order for reconciliation, and part of that has to be accountability.
And there were arguments, there were fights, almost as if you should do what I tell you.
Girl, the buzz out of Montecito is absolutely wild, and for once it ain't about royal titles, cute baby pics, or Meghan's next podcast flop. Nope, this time it's Prince Harry himself, at the center of a full-blown emergency that's got tongues wagging across both sides of the pond. And let's just say it's not pretty. Insiders say something insane went down at Harry and Meghan's $14 million California mansion. What started as just whispers from behind-the-gate sources quickly exploded when news broke that Harry was actually rushed to the hospital.
But what people don't know is the efforts that I've gone to resolve this.
But hold on, it gets darker. Word is, Harry wasn't just feeling dizzy or having a little royal flu. Oh no, sources claim he was found unconscious. Yes, unconscious, after allegedly indulging in some heavy substance use. And guess who was reportedly not there when it happened? Meghan. That's right. While Harry was getting emergency care, Meghan was said to be off at a bougie, members-only party acting like it was just another glam night out. Can you believe it? The man almost died. And his wife was allegedly mingling and laughing at a fancy club like nothing even happened. Who? And the one who found him? None other than his longtime bodyguard, David Langdown. And this isn't just some rent-a-cop. Langdown is a former Scotland Yard officer, a royal security legend who literally has a medal from Queen Elizabeth herself. So when he is the one rushing in to save Harry's life, you know it was serious. Now, let's not pretend this came out of nowhere. Harry's name has been linked to substance rumors for years. From teenage weed stories to more eyebrow-raising claims, magic mushrooms, sea powder, even that Vegas trip we all remember, the wildness has always trailed him. But this isn't a night of partying gone wrong. This was a medical emergency. According to insiders, Harry was totally unresponsive and spent hours under hospital care before finally stabilizing. And Meghan, allegedly out the door faster than you can say alibi.
Prince Harry is opening up about turning to drugs and alcohol years after the death of his mother, Princess Diana, in the first episode of his new 5-part docuseries about mental health awareness with Oprah Winfrey.
Here's where it gets even more twisted. Remember Harry's memoir? Oh, he went there. In his tell-all, he didn't hold back. He admitted to regularly smoking weed, experimenting with psychedelics like ayahuasca, and using that sea powder. He even admitted to using while he was living at Kensington Palace. Girl, that book dropped, and it rocked the palace walls. But in the US, it raised even more eyebrows. A conservative think tank in DC went after his visa. They demanded answers. Did Harry really disclose all this drug history on his immigration forms? Or did he conveniently forget to mention it? Because let's be honest, for regular folks, that kind of record can get your visa denied real quick. Some documents were eventually released, but they were so redacted it only made people more suspicious. And just 2 months after his bombshell memoir, he was called out hard by Fiona Spargo Mabs, a grieving mother whose teen son died from an MDMA overdose. She dragged Harry publicly for glamorizing drug use and warned it could mislead vulnerable young people. Can you blame her?
Harry revealed he turned to drugs and alcohol to cope. He said, "I was willing to drink, I was willing to try and do the things that made me feel less like I was feeling."
Harry, of course, kept talking. In a live interview with trauma expert Dr. Gabor Mate, he doubled down. He said substances made him feel belonging, that marijuana really helped him. That's when the backlash hit a whole new level. Fiona, the mother, slammed those comments too, saying they were dangerous and could be completely misunderstood by struggling teens.
Do you think that Harry is saying something perfectly normal, as do seem to creep more and more into our world, or has he said something a little bit foolish?
I think that what he's saying isn't normal. I think it's becoming increasingly more of a mainstream view, but it's still not most people don't think of turning to drugs and alcohol to help them cope with their...
Now here's where people start connecting dots. Folks are saying this isn't just a case of a grown man making bad choices. This could be a long, dangerous pattern. And Meghan, she's not coming out clean in this either.
Problems, there are other sources of support, and particularly for young people, that's where it became a concern.
Allegedly, she's known about Harry's demons all along and not only didn't help, but might have made things worse. According to insiders, she'd gaslight him, telling him he was just stuck in the past every time he missed his family.
According to Harry, matters worsened when it came time to embark on his royal duties. He told Winfrey, "I was in fight or flight mode. Panic attacks, severe anxiety, so 28 to probably 32 was a nightmare time in my life."
Some claim she's even been using his emotional and mental health struggles to keep control over him. Yup, the gossip is that Meghan might have used Harry's pain as a leash, and the past is catching up. Receipts from her first wedding in Jamaica? Reportedly, Meghan was handing out party favors, and not the innocent kind. Some guests swear she slipped joints into gift bags, and folks didn't even realize until they landed back in the States. One wrong TSA stop, and it could have been game over. So the "I'm just a clean girl trying to find peace" image, getting seriously challenged. And Meghan's mom, Doria, she's usually quiet, sure, but word is she's not so squeaky clean either. Some say she's still connected to California's underground party scene. Nothing's confirmed, but the whispers are loud. Back to Harry. This latest hospital incident is waking up some people in power. Like, how many times can this man spiral and no one truly step in? Apparently, it's not the first time stories were about to drop, but then suddenly, poof, disappeared. The palace steps in, PR works its magic, and all we get is another feel-good charity photo. But insiders are speaking now. Stories about Harry raging out, sobbing behind closed doors, mixing vodka and sea powder during military service, and those D tests during his time in the army? Sources say some were skipped entirely. Yup, reportedly whenever a surprise test was coming, Harry got flown out. Coincidence? We don't think so. There's even an old tabloid piece saying he inhaled a full canister of laughing gas meant for medical use while at the hospital for Archie's birth. No one talked about it back then, but now it's being pulled back into the spotlight. And now, with Harry's hospital admission making waves, the palace isn't denying, but they're definitely scrambling.
My wife is not visibly black, but that's who she is. The way that they speak about her and the way they treat her is incredibly relatable to everybody else of color.
The second Harry was wheeled into that hospital, sources say King Charles himself was alerted. Phones lit up all night across London. But here's the kicker. There was no official announcement, not a single word from the palace, no concerned statement, no update on Harry's condition, just silence. Why? Because the royal machine wasn't focusing on helping Harry. They were laser-focused on managing the scandal. They knew if this story broke wide open, it wouldn't just look bad for Harry. It would shatter the carefully curated royal image they've spent decades protecting. The world's golden boy, the spare, falling apart in California, it doesn't fit the fairy tale. And Meghan? Her absence is now being dissected from every angle. Insiders are flat out calling it an alibi. Think about it. Your husband is allegedly unconscious at home, possibly ODing, and instead of being there, you're at a private club laughing and chatting like it's girls' night? Nah, people aren't buying it, and that's why the whispers are turning into serious questions. Was it planned? Did she want to be seen out so no one could say she had anything to do with it? The narrative is shifting hard. It's no longer just poor Harry, it's what's really going on with Meghan. Suddenly, Meghan's every move from the last 5 years is under a microscope. Was she isolating Harry from his family on purpose? Encouraging habits that made him easier to manipulate? Some critics say yes, and that she built a bubble around him, one that kept him dependent, confused, and emotionally fragile. And now that bubble has burst.
There was no compromise with the family.
No, there was no compromise, which was really sad because I still to this day believe that this was entirely possible.
Even Doria, Meghan's mother, isn't being spared. Usually a quiet background figure, insiders are now whispering that her role might be way bigger than we ever thought. There's even speculation she helped Meghan keep certain connections alive, connections that could source the very substances Harry's now being accused of abusing. Nothing confirmed, but the fact that these questions are being asked at all, that tells you just how serious this mess is. And behind closed doors, lawyers aren't planning a quiet separation. They're reportedly bracing for impact, the kind of media fallout that could stain the monarchy forever. Because if Harry spirals further, or worse, speaks out, this isn't going to be a scandal. It's going to be a disaster. And the palace, they've made it clear, if Meghan gets blamed for any part of this, she's on her own. No protection, no statements, no support. She's not one of them anymore. But let's not get it twisted. As juicy and shocking as all of this is, it's also devastating. Because underneath the press headlines, inside the security gates and redacted documents, one thing is heartbreakingly clear. Prince Harry is not okay. This isn't some PR misstep. It's not just a tabloid circus. This is a man unraveling in real time. And whether it began with Diana's death, royal pressures, the media frenzy, or a toxic marriage, something broke inside him. And instead of getting the help he needed, he got spotlights, interviews, and endless expectations. He told us again and again in his book, his docuseries, his speeches, but no one really listened because when it came time to protect him, everyone played their part in the royal image game instead. And Meghan, her silence is louder than ever.
To make that decision to receive help is not a sign of weakness. In today's world, more than ever, it is a sign of strength.
She hasn't spoken publicly since the hospitalization. No messages of love. No signs of concern. Instead, she's allegedly prepping new PR deals, refocusing on her next project. Can you imagine? The man you built your brand around is in crisis and you're booking cooking segments? Some say she's going to use Harry's breakdown as yet another sympathy card. Play the worried wife role, post a carefully lit photo, drop a quote about healing and self-care. But others are saying enough is enough. Even Meghan's personal stories are being re-examined. Her whole struggling actress who grew up poor tale, her own family says that's not true. Her dad worked multiple jobs to support her private school education. The image of a mistreated outsider might be just that, an image. And let's be honest, the moment she lost her royal titles and her spotlight started dimming, she launched a cooking show. Not exactly the priority when your husband is collapsing from alleged substance abuse. If anything, it just screams damage control. And here's where the real gut punch hits. Harry left everything behind for her. His family, his home, his title, even his military ties. All for a fresh start, a new life, a love story. But now, that story is unraveling. People see it now. Harry isn't just taking a break from royal life. He's drowning, emotionally, mentally, physically. And the people who were supposed to be his lifeline walked away. Or worse, used his pain to write books and build brands. This isn't going to get better with time. You don't bounce back from years of buried trauma with a detox retreat. What Harry needs isn't a break. It's a breakthrough, and some real accountability from everyone who let this happen. He needs truth, not spin, help, not handlers, healing, not hiding. And if the palace doesn't start putting his well-being above the headlines, if Meghan keeps playing the part instead of showing up for real, this won't just go down as another messy royal saga. It'll be remembered as the time everyone failed him. So what do you think? Did Meghan abandon Harry when he needed her most? Is the palace protecting legacy over a man's life? And is this the beginning of the end for the Sussex brand? Let us know in the comments below, because this one isn't over, not by a long shot.